What's going on, guys? I'm Dan Omega, Daniel's son, and boy, do we have... Well, we gotta talk, man. We gotta talk DC, the DCEU. We gotta talk Ben Affleck and the solo Batman film. But I'm just gonna warn you guys, this is not gonna be an edited video. I want you guys to see me. Like, I want you guys to hear me out, see me, and everything that I have to say, the things that come up in my head, what I've been thinking about this whole process. I'll edit some stuff, like put music on here. But, yeah, so this is Uncut Daniel, Dan the Man. Let's do it. First of all, let's talk Ben Affleck leaving the directing for the Batman solo film. It's not a shock, honestly. It's really not a shock that Ben Affleck does not want to direct the Batman film. I've been seeing some articles that Ben feels pressure he feels the weight of the character of the Batman. A lot of people feel the weight. Michael Keaton felt the weight. Christian Bale felt the weight. Val Kilmer, I don't think so much. George Clooney definitely felt the weight, but he said that he couldn't do both. He had to choose one or the other. He said he couldn't do the workload of being a director for the Batman film and also playing the Kid Crusader as well. Very understandable. I mean, people do it. A lot of times the director / actor will do it, but I think he realizes that in order to make a Batman film the best it can be, it's either he has to be behind the lens and somebody else play Batman, or but that's not even an option. So he has to be he has to collaborate. He has to collaborate with somebody they're gonna both work, and he's gonna tell him, like, okay, this is cool, but I want it this way. And it's gonna be probably butting of heads, but he feels that's probably the best route to go while he focuses on the Batman role. But now, recently, it's been saying that Ben might just leave the role entirely. I don't want that to happen. I think Ben Affleck is actually a really good I think he's a great Batman. I think he's physically the best Batman we have. He looks the part. He has the chin. He really, honestly, he's not the moody kind of Bruce. He's like the Bruce. He feels like a little bit of the animated version of Bruce Wayne, but he's more open. He's more smiling, and that's a different kind of Bruce that we're used to seeing, where he's generally smiling when he's talking to members of the Justice League. I mean, in that one particular scene with the Flash, he's talking to him, and he's kind of like, he's kind of joking around with him, which is kind of like different. It's weird. And in Batman v Superman, when he needed to get serious, he played it well. He played it, I think, really well. I think Ben Affleck is a great choice as Batman, but I don't know. I don't see. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I think a long time ago I said they should have brought Christian Bale into this universe because it was more grounded. But it's kind of hard to bring Christian Bale back into the universe, that Christopher Nolan universe, because that Batman would just get demolished by Superman. I really do think Ben should stay, but if he left, I would be devastated. I think a lot of people would be devastated too. DC, that's it. If Ben leaves the project, if Ben leaves the role, of Batman, because he's already been Batman v Superman. He's already done a cameo for Suicide Squad. He's going to be in the Justice League movie. He is most likely going to be in the Batman film, the solo film. And if he walks away after this, it hurts DC so bad where there's no way they're going to come back from this. People who are two contenders that might take over the Batman solo film is Matt Reeves, who did Dawn of Planet of the Apes and Rise of Planet of the Apes, which I absolutely love this choice. I absolutely love those movies. I think he has the tone down. He has the action sequences down. He has the tension that is needed for that type of film. He's a different kind of director than a lot of the other directors that have taken hold of the Batman films, like Schumacher, Burton, and Nolan. Even Nolan. I think Reeves is just a different cat and a different kind of idealist, bringing in his ideas into a Batman movie, and I think it's going to be something that we So we're gonna see a lot of things we've seen before in the Batman movie if he takes over, but I think we're gonna see a lot of different stuff as well. And we've seen him do that. We've seen him do that with the Planet of the Apes franchise, where he's done a lot of things that we've seen in the Planet of the Apes franchise, but a lot of things we haven't. So really, really cool. And he really brings that tension and that just the mood just right. And I love the idea of him being one of the directors. And then we have, I believe, is Matt Ross or Matt Ross. I believe he was the director of Captain Fantastic. So I don't know. I haven't seen that film, so I don't know too much about him. What would be interesting if they brought back Christopher Nolan? Now, hear me out. I love Nolan. I love his films. I think that Dark Knight trilogy is one of the best in cinematic superhero movies history. I mean, my God, The Dark Knight is I'm going to say it's a masterpiece. Of course, masterpieces have their flaws, and Nolan's trilogy does have its flaws. But if you bring Nolan back for just one time, I don't want him to do another trilogy. I want him to do one film of the Ben Affleck film. You have two prestige directors. Yes, Ben Affleck has earned prestige because Argo has won Best Picture, and he is a very capable director, even though Live by Night bombed horribly in the box office, which that probably played a lot of I really think that played a factor of Ben's decision and even Warner Brothers' decision that, okay, fine, Ben, walk away because you lost us a lot of money. That was your passion project, and maybe you don't have, maybe those films, yes, this is a different era. Maybe that kind of time has passed for you and you need to just focus on just this Batman role. And I think Warner Brothers would love that, for him just to be Batman forever. Honestly, Batman Forever, callback reference, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, hear me out. I would love to see Christopher Nolan working with Ben on a Batman film. Christopher Nolan has just he's proven he knows how to film. He's a very capable director. His movies look beautiful. They're still they have the same look as Suicide Squad, as Man of Steel. Batman v Superman is the one film that really kind of differed away from that realism of everything. I mean, Zack Snyder really took it to another level, like Game Boy level, honestly, with Batman v Superman. But Suicide Squad actually brought it back down to a more realistic level. So I would love to see Christopher Nolan actually take the reins and do a Batman film and show Zack Snyder that you're doing it all wrong, buddy. And you got to remember, he was a producer in Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, even though he didn't have a lot of influence in what Zack Snyder is doing. And of course, Zack Snyder is the head honcho of everything, even though he's on the shit list. I want to see. I mean, at one point, they wanted Nolan to take over this whole thing and be a Kevin Feige, but he declined and he wanted to do other passion projects. I don't know I think he'd be too tired to go back and do a Batman film, but I mean, money talks, and it is a different version. It's something that is a challenge. It's a challenge. I think Nolan likes challenges where, yeah, he did this already. He did the Batman trilogy already. But if they go to him like, no, we don't want you to do that trilogy. We want you to do something different. Can you do something different? Can you prove to us that you're capable of same subject matter, but making it so much different? And best example would be comic book artists. Comic book artists do one thing, and then they get with the character, and then maybe they get another kind of like they have the reins to do whatever they want with that same character in the upcoming stories. So of course, I think a lot of them change for bizarre how bizarre it is. They at least go for it, balls to the wall. So I think they would challenge Nolan on that, and of course give him a bunch of money. Because Nolan's the director. He's not an actor in here. He's not Christian Bale, who's coming in here and replacing his Batman and stuff. He's the director. So you can have directors who've done previous work come in here and try something, do it again, but do something much different and much more I would say Nolan would have to really not stick with the realism and actually go for something beyond that and more of like an Interstellar type feel to it. So DC, oh man, I mean the Flash is having problems. Aquaman is somewhat having a little bit of problems. James Wan is supposed to be directing that. Of course, this news with Ben Affleck, Wonder Woman, rumbles about Wonder Woman's film and how it's a mess as well, like Suicide Squad mess. It's just not going great for DC and for Warner Brothers. It's devastating. I don't want to see that happen to DC. I want them to compete with Marvel. I am a DC fan and I am a Marvel fan. I like both of them. I like any film that comes out. Like look how my pops are different. They're different, okay? I like some elements of the DCEU universe presented. Well, of course, with Ben Affleck as Batman, with Henry Cavill as Superman, even though Batman v Superman really made Superman a very unlikable character. I just think the DCEU right now is, honestly, if I was a betting man, I would bet this thing is going to be a disaster for future years to come. They just can't get their shit together. You have directors pulling out of future films. You have a rushed product, because that's exactly what I think they view these films as, product. And honestly, Batman v Superman was supposed to be the launching point. This was supposed to be the launching point. Batman v Superman. Batman versus Superman. Bruce versus Clark. And you fucked it up. How? My God, like a 10-year-old could write a better story than what was presented in Batman v Superman. How do you fuck that up so bad? How does DC drop the ball so bad? Granted, Suicide Squad, I enjoyed, but it's still messy. It still has a lot of problems. And like I always say, Marvel is not 100% great. Thor is actually a little bit boring, honestly. Iron Man 2, a lot of people didn't like. I actually like that. Iron Man 3, I thought was a disaster. Marvel has some stinkers. So does DC. But the problem with DC is like they don't have a clear-cut winner. I think Man of Steel, I really enjoyed Man of Steel. But the fight between him and Zod really took a toll on me. I was really getting worn out of a lot of Zack Snyder's special effects. It was really too much. A lot of problems lay on Zack Snyder, but a lot of problems lay just the overall organization of the DC, who's handling DC and who's in the Warner Brothers. It falls on them. They are so unorganized. They remind me of the particular job I used to have, where they were so unorganized that it seems like the actors have to call them. That's how bad it seems like it's over there. When I say the actors have to call them, I mean like the actors have to call them and see what day do they come into work. Honestly, it's ridiculous. It's a mess. I'm very saddened by this. I'm very sad that Ben is left the Batman film. And if any of you guys think that Kevin Smith is going to take the reins on this, he's not. Kevin Smith is not that good of a director. I like some of his movies, and I think he's a funny guy. But he cannot handle that. He won't handle that. And he does know his Batman, but no. No. I would like, if he wants to be involved with it, like writing-wise or influential-wise or idea-wise, yeah, I think Kevin Smith is the man to go to. But when it comes to directing the film, no. No. And it's sad too, because I see a lot of things that are happening probably in this Justice League that I think it could be really cool, but I watched Justice League trailers and I'm just thinking, this is Zack Snyder. I don't think this is any different than what we got from Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and that's the sad part. I don't think you're gonna get a fantastic. I think out of anybody, I think the Batman film has a chance to be really great, like home run out of the park, great with critics and great with audiences. But when you have Wonder Woman, who's coming in, which actually the trailers, I'm excited to go watch. Even though I've been hearing rumors and all that stuff, I don't care. I'm gonna go watch it. I'm gonna see if I liked it or not. I'm really hope that's a great movie. I really hope Wonder Woman is the fantastic movie that I think it's going to be. I really hope Justice League is going to be a great movie. But I've said that for Suicide Squad, I said that for Batman v Superman, and I've been let down every time. So, I mean, DC, Warner Brothers, step up your shit. Ben Affleck, if he leaves the role of Batman, if he leaves that role, sure, you can replace him with Josh Brolin. Because I think that's where they want to go with. Josh Brolin, you could replace him with Christian Bale again, or you could just cast unknown, or somebody else that you wouldn't think that would be in that role. But I guarantee you, if Ben Affleck leaves that role after the Batman film, and he doesn't do at least maybe 2 more, or if he leaves before the Batman film, you're done. It's done. Scrap the DC universe. Give it to Marvel. It's done. Marvel has too much on their hands anyway, so it's done. If that happens, but hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully DCEU and Warner Brothers can get their shit together, and hopefully Ben Affleck doesn't think that Live by Night one failure doesn't lead to every countless of failures in the future, because that's what the problem with a lot of directors and actors is they're one of their movie bombs and then they lose it. That's not the case. It's what you can bounce back. You can bounce back, and we've seen that plenty of times as well. So those are my thoughts on Batman and Ben Affleck leaving the Batman film, and also just overall the DC. Is this done? Is DCEU done, or can they survive just him leaving the directing? But I don't think if he leaves the role, they're done. They're done. I don't care. They're done. I'm Dan Making That Son. Thank you guys for listening.